Welcome to today's session on Algebra and Introduction. So algebra is just basically working with some values which are unknown to us at this time. Mathematical algebra, we work with letters. Many people think that this is scary just because we are dealing with letters and not dealing with values. So maybe because there's that uncertainty, that this is why it's so scary to some learners. But as long as we bear in mind that the letters have actually just a value behind them. So for instance, if we took a well-known logo or image, now for many of us, we probably understand that this is the Lego image, those toys that we probably play with as children. Some of us may still play with these, but until we've given this image meaning or value, it is an unknown. It is just an unknown element, and it could have different meanings to different people. Where a lot of us, we understand that this is Lego, the brand. Other people may not be aware of this and may believe that this is just the word Lego on a red background. So in algebra, we are looking to give meaning to the letters. So for example, x plus y, x will have some value, y will have some value. Now there could be the same values, there could be completely different values. As opposed to here, I've got x equals y. This will mean that the value of x is the exact same as the value of y because they are equal to each other. There are some rules that we need to bear in mind when we are dealing with algebra, the fundamental rules. Anytime we've got one lot of a letter, so 1x, we simply just write the letter. So one lot of x is just x. Anytime we've got a number next to a letter, this is telling us how many lots of that letter we've got. So we could actually separate it up and say that for our 2y is 2 times y. Exactly the same as with our numbers. When we're dealing with pairs, our pairs are telling us how many times we're going to multiply that number or letter by itself. So here I've got z squared, so this means I'm going to multiply z by itself, z times z. Here I've got 1 over x in a fraction. So those of you who know your reciprocals and know your laws of indices, we can write this as x to the power of -1. But for those of you more used to dealing with fractions, this means the exact same as what it would do in a fraction, where our top number would divide our bottom number. In this case, our top number would divide by the letter below. Anytime that we've got two letters next to each other, it means the exact same as what it would do with a number and letter. So here I've got AB. This means A times B. Now a different sort of rule, and this is one which normally throws people. We've got AB squared. Now many people think that you've got to multiply your A times your B and then you have to square it. But as you can see, if we separate this off, only the B is being squared here. So we'll find out what the square of B is and then multiply it by the A. As opposed to here, I've got x to the power of 2y, so only the x is being squared. We can collect like terms, so here I've got 3 lots of x plus 2 lots of x, so altogether I've got 5 lots of x. But our 3x and our 2x are like terms, as opposed to here I've got z squared plus z. This does not equal 2z squared, which is what I find from many learners. Literally, the z squared plus the z is already in its simplest form. And anytime that we're dealing with quadratics, a quadratic equation is anytime that you've got a sum or an equation where the largest power is to the power of 2. So here I've got x to the power of 2 plus x plus 2 equals 0. Anytime that we're looking to solve a quadratic equation, we need everything onto the one side of an equal sign, nothing on the other, so it does equal 0. Now I'm very much a visual learner, in which case anytime that I'm dealing with algebra, like for instance here, x plus 4y, what I actually do, I envisage shapes. So here my x is my square, so I've got 1 square, 1x, and my y is a triangle, and I've got 1, 2, 3, 4 of these, so 4y. This helps me understand algebra and get my head around algebra when I'm looking at problems. I can use the exact same principle for my 2x minus 2y, because this is just simply 2 squares, 2x with 2 triangles missing, so minus 2y. Hopefully this will give some of those of you who are scared of algebra or unsure about algebra an extra tool, an extra resource to be able to try and get your head around it. If you're struggling with letters, just replace them with something else that you find far more easier to comprehend. Thank you very much for watching.